I haven't given up when it comes to XCN, and $1, that's still my price target for this bull run, even though that's not financial advice. Now, some people might be thinking, okay, how is that even possible, man? Take a look at the price pullback when it comes to XCN. It's trash and all this, but I do believe that what we're seeing as of right now could very well just be temporary. And I get it, the sentiment isn't the best currently either, because take a look at, for instance, at least at the time of this recording, right? It was recently announced that when it comes to Bybit, they did experience, a quote-unquote breach, or should I say hack, allegedly, where over $1 billion worth of Ethereum was allegedly, quote-unquote, taken away, right, by some probably, bad actors, right, in the space. But the way you take a look at it is that there's going to be a lot of fear. Some people are going to be uncertain, but allegedly Bybit say everything's going smooth and they're trying to find a very amazing solution. But regardless of that, whatever happens there, the way I take a look at it is that it's going to be very temporary. And people usually, they move on very quickly, especially in this space. Take a look at, for instance, the FTX crash. Not to mention, we take a look at, what happened with Celsius, what happened with, Terra Luna. Here's the thing, people don't really talk about that anymore. And the reason why is because, again, people usually move on very quickly. Whatever happened back then, is it affecting really whatever happened to Bitcoin not too long ago, reaching over $100,000? No. No one's debating about that anymore, right? At the time, it was huge. But as of right now, people don't really care. And when people like to say that, oh yeah, as of right now, things are going to keep going down. Well, it's kind of bad timing because things pump up by a very good amount. And it's only normal to have a pullback, by the way. It's called like a breather. It's like running a marathon. We're going to take a break somewhere in between, right? I'm not saying completely stop, but reduce the pace. I think it's only fair to assume that on the way to the top, things are not going to be this straight shot, usually in most cases. So as we were having a pullback, and then we have this Bybit case, right? Or this Bybit situation, I think that when it comes to, this, again, it's kind of like a perfect storm. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be something that's going to last forever, because the way I view it is that there's better days ahead. And when it comes to this, mindset, right? Why do I have that? It's because usually altcoins, historically speaking, they typically peak around 18 months after a Bitcoin halving event. Now, when did the last Bitcoin halving event happen? It happened back in April of last year. So actually around 18 months from then is going to be October this year. Now, this is no surefire date or anything like that. It's more so of just like a benchmark or like a gauge to go off of, really. Things could always happen later or maybe sooner, which would be awesome. But really, again, we just don't know if that will be the case this time around, like happening, let's say, around October. But again, I'm going to take a look at more so near the end of 2025 because I do believe in this space. And I do believe that when it comes to something like, the Onyx protocol, it's going to do very well, hypothetically. Now, why do I say that? It's because XCN, aka Onyx coin, that is the native token of the Onyx protocol. And when it comes to the Onyx protocol, what is it, right? It's a decentralized blockchain infrastructure that is designed to improve financial services. We all know that XRP and XLM is going to be a big narrative, right? And when it comes to Onyx, it's kind of no different really than those two projects. It's pretty much focused on the same thing. Take a look at XLM, aka Stellar, or let's say XRP, aka, Ripple. That right there, those two giants, they're focused on what two markets? Payments and as well as the global trade and finance market. Onyx, they're pretty much focused on that too. Now, Onyx doesn't have the adoption or the fans or the hype of that, right? But achieving a glimpse of that, I really don't see why not. Take a look at, for instance, does XCN need to be number one in order to be considered a success? No, because if let's say it were to go to the price of $1, considering current circulating supply, market cap at that point would be around $32.5 billion. Now, keep in mind, again, XRP currently has a market cap that is well beyond $100 billion. And we're not even at the peak of the bull run yet, in my opinion. So, XCN can't reach this during a fully fledged bull run? I just don't see why not, really. I mean, keep in mind, XCN going to that price again, $1, is around a 53x from here. Now, let's just take a look at this logically, right? Does XLM and XRP have the potential to do over a 50x in the next 6 to 10 months? No, I don't think it could do that. I'm not talking about 20, 30 years later, by the way. I'm just saying, again, in the next 6 to 10 months, it can't do that. The amazing thing about XCN is that it's pretty much focused on the same markets as them, but then because the market cap is relatively speaking a lot lower, the room for growth feels a lot more dynamic. And again, it's just a no-brainer pick for me. I mean, if someone told me, or should I say came up to me, right, and said, hey, you could only put all your eggs into one basket for this bull run, XCN, XRP, or XLM, it's going to have to be XCN in my opinion. It's just a no-brainer for me. I just don't see why this is a bad pick. And when there's over 600 million crypto owners, according to Crypto.com research, which we do, this space is going to recover, in my opinion, eventually. It's just a waiting game. And again, when it comes to Onyx, people like to say, oh, it's piggybacking off the hype of Stellar and, Ripple. I don't see what's wrong with that. Take a look at Pepe piggybacking off the hype of Dogecoin and Shiba Inu. That did very well. Why would this be any different? I just don't see why that wouldn't be the case. And again, XCN at the price of $1, that is still my price target for this bull run. I'm not giving up. Things can happen in the short term. It is what it is, but I'm still going to be acquiring, holding, and just waiting. That's it. And I'm not giving up, and I'm going to stick this one through because I haven't sold any XCN. Even despite me, when I first started talking about XCN, it wasn't doing the best. Then shortly after, it did very well, right? Which is a verifiable fact. And then now it's, of course, having a pullback. But again, I'm still believing in this. I'm not giving up. And $1, that's still my price target for this bull run. And make sure to subscribe if you gain value from this video. I greatly appreciate it. It's Willie the Captain, and I'll catch you all in the next one. I'm out. Peace. Bye.